regarding these frameworks and too many frameworks, there is also one more thing that mostly junior folks say is that is something called imposter syndrome. That there are so many things to learn. Like even in
Mm-hmm.
front end, there are 10 kinds of CSS frameworks. There is Tailwind, there is NUI,
Mm-hmm.
there is now these days there is ShatCN, and there are numerous things. And also in JavaScript, there are numerous frameworks. So what most of the junior folks feel like is that, maybe we don't know enough. What is happening? Maybe I'm a fraud. Maybe people will catch me. Somehow I'm just Googling and doing stuff,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes maybe asking ChatGPT to do things. So do we really avoid this imposter syndrome sometime in our career, or it stays always with us? Like, what do you think of this?
I think I would answer in two ways. Okay. Number one
Mhm.
is not having the foundation is definitely something that I have seen in many people today. So they just jump into learning React without having any kind of foundation on programming. When I started with C, and then gradually I build my foundation around concept, right? And that always gave me a strength that you give me any situation and I will learn it, whether it is visual, um,
Basic.
whether it is a .NET programming,
uh,
C# programming, or even Microsoft app programming. You, but the problem that I see today is that people don't have that foundational knowledge of how to problem solve, how to uh, uh, what programming basically mean, the simple concept of what object orientation is, how to normalize the database. I'm picking very smaller example, okay?
mm-hmm.
If you focus on that, then you can you can counter your imposter syndrome, but you cannot just fake it. And
Yeah, yeah,
there are
definitely.
many things that you could do around imposter syndrome. What I'm trying to say that you have to have some foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. So regarding this, you have mentioned that many folks are learning React without foundation, which is definitely true. But do you think that there is some sort of rat race kind of thing going on? For example, everybody thinks that this is the new cool framework. I have to learn this, then I will get a
Mhm.
job. And everything is focused on getting a job because I mean everybody needs job, so they want a job, so they are learning the cool frameworks, and they think that once I get a job, I can take care of the foundations. So is it some kind of race going on, do you think? And that's why people are doing this, because nobody would love to have this thing, this imposter syndrome. Everybody wants a way out. But do you think this is the reason?
I
Some race
think,
kind of thing?
well, race or wish, right? Well, wish, like if I just learn enough, I can get an entry, um, which is okay, right? Once you're in the
Yeah.
team, you will work on the real life project and all, but then you face the challenge that you're not able to get a entry in interviews. You are not able to perform. How many people that you probably have encountered who are saying, "Oh, why they ask DSA? Do I need to learn DSA?" Yeah,
Yeah.
spend 3 months and you will be okay. But unless otherwise not. So your question is, I think everybody want job is starting their third year of engineering. They just want to get a job, and high paying job, but they don't want to spend time in strategizing it, plus building what exactly they're offering to their employer. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if we call it race or just the wishful thinking.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So what happens is, I think this is the wishful thinking, in the sense they think that maybe we can trick our way into a job. Maybe somehow I will get into, and then I will take care of the other things, which generally doesn't work very well, because actually DSA and other things are hard, and maybe they just want to build some projects and this kind of things. which I'm not blaming. Maybe at a particular situation, this is fine. At one point of time, even I used to think like this, that, I will not do DSA, but we have to do it sooner or later. So that anyway, so just moving away from that. One more thing that many developers are saying, not saying, I mean, this is also another problem, is when they're building projects, let's say when they're doing the good stuff, oftentimes what happens is they're not consistent. So let's say they started building one project. It could be anything. It could be a game. It could
Can
be
I go
yeah,
back to the previous question and add something there?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
It is okay for somebody to learn the surface level thing and get a job and then perform and then in that job. I think that would be okay, as long as this person is prepared to handle what comes next. Because when you are in a job, your first job, there will be training, there will be people who will be there to help you, there will be challenging problems that people will give you to solve, right? It's a real
Yeah,
life projects. As long as this person goes with an attitude that I will be able to sit with the problem, will not scare, will not just run after chat GPT or Google search or whatever just to find a solution. If this person can spend enough time to understand the problems and figure out the logic that we use as an experienced developer, how to apply our thinking, how to apply your problem solving logics to a problem, act like a detective that I will analyze, I will understand, and then I will apply a solution, rather than thinking, I wish somebody can tell me the solution and I can just code it, right? So if somebody can do that for next 6 months, 1 year, they can obviously perform. So yeah, that is possible. It is possible to just learn a surface level, hopefully get an entry, and then learn everything. It just become too much with so many things going on in your work. On top of that, you're learning and you're spending like 3 times more time to problem solving and learning and trying and error. So I just wanted to answer that question because that is possible. One of the strategy that people have used and work great. It just require a lot of efforts afterward.
yeah. I have heard many of my friends who initially spend maybe 16 hours for their work, and then they become when
Which is
once they
great.
become good. Yeah,
Yeah,
even
and
me
that's
also.
great, right? That's great. Right? And
Yeah.
all I'm saying that go with that mindset and it's
Hmm.
awesome.
Once things little bit cool down, like we are little bit we know how to approach a problem, then it
Two to
becomes
three
normal work.
years. It's only take 2 to 3 years for you to get in a job. And the first 2 3 years, if you go with the mindset that whatever it takes, your friend did 16 hours, yeah, spend 16 hours. But once you are 2 to 3 years experience, then you don't have to. Just like things will cool down, you will have better opportunities, companies will come after you.